Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, happy Saturday morning to you. It's Dave Neal, stand-up comic, host of Bachelor Nation News, and we have a breaking news story to get to for you today. A special bonus Saturday video. Hit the like button and make sure to subscribe. It helps boost the algorithm and keeps me making content. And making content is Jonathan and Jenn Tran, Jenn the Bachelorette. Tuesday night revealed she was stiffed, duped, and dumped by Devin, her first place finisher, after she got down on, actually she didn't get down on a knee. Maybe that's the problem. She proposed to Devin, but she didn't get down on a knee. You got to go the whole distance, lady. Come on. Either way, he dumped her and she was heartbroken. There's a whole storyline behind that. But there was Jonathan at the Men Tell All shooting his shot, saying, "Dang, Jenn, you look so good out there. Just wanted to let you know." And it was actually very interesting because Jenn kept a very stoic face. I actually criticized her. I was like, geez, she was really into this guy. Now she's not giving him the time of the day. Well, here they are, just moments ago, posting this TikTok, formerly known as Musical.ly, and they've got the internet in storm. Ava Rose said, "You're breaking the internet with this." And sure enough, on a very sunny, at least here in Tennessee, Saturday morning, very beautiful outside. Here in Southern California, we see it looks like last night. If I had to judge this TikTok, it was done in the evening. You can tell because the pool lights were on. Why are the pool lights on? Oh, Jonathan and Jenn didn't bring their bathing suits. Guess they'll do a little skinny dipping. I mean, they never did get that fantasy suite. So Jonathan went from bronze to possibly bedroom. He was the third place finisher on Jenn's season. And now they are posting this reel. I'm going to share the reel with you in a second. The TikTok with you in a second. But first, let's play a clip of Jenn morning after the Devin debacle, discussing kind of how she felt. And let's see if she's open to any other possible reunions, say, with other cast members.
Need and you deserve.
Can you fill our viewers in on the timeline here, because you were just explaining to me behind the scenes?
Absolutely. So Devin and I had gotten engaged back in May, and we had just broken up about a month ago, and since then it's kind of just been off and on and whatnot. So
off and on. This was the first I heard of it being off and on. We knew that he dumped her. Now, I had a video that went super viral, I believe Wednesday or Thursday, super viral, that showed Devin posting the text messages between him and Jenn, where he didn't want to dump her over the phone, but he said, "Hey, we need to talk." And then as it came out, she was like, "No, talk now. I'm not going to wait to see you in person," as anybody would. Who would want to wait? "Oh, we need to talk. Seriously? No, do it now." So Jenn kind of had that happen then. And of course, he said, "I'm no longer in love with you," and all these other things. But I guess they probably were still working it out after. Now, as of yesterday, we shared the interview where Jenn was asked, "Have you spoken to Devin since the finale?" And she said, "No." And she looked down and to her left at her co-star there, Sasha, her dancing partner. And it made me think maybe she was still talking to him. And of course, it would be totally fair if Jenn and Devin still had conversations they wanted to have off camera. You know what I mean? Look, they were engaged like weeks or a month earlier, right? So it would be fair for them to finally talk after the cameras are off. That's the only time you can have an honest conversation. Devin's taken his, beating, metaphorically there, live in front of the audience. He's getting booed and jeered. Everyone's like, he's the worst. And it's like, look, obviously Devin does have his own issues. But, on behalf of all mental health, whenever you go through a breakup, if you can have as much closure as possible, get those conversations out of the way. Maybe the conversation she had with Devin gave her the closure she needed to then do a little bit TikTok-y with Jonathan.
it was nice to kind of get the closure that I finally needed last night.
You looked so happy when you asked him to marry you. What can you share, if you're comfortable with, what changed?
Yeah, I mean, with me, nothing had changed with me. I was so happy. I was so ready to start our life together. But I had realized that his energy had shifted and his priorities had shifted, and he wasn't the same person he was on the show as off of the show. And
by the way, I mean,
how soon did you realize?
You know, when you're going through like therapy, you know, you're never supposed to say they did this, they did that. It's, you know, you have to take ownership over yourself. Now, I'm not saying Jenn did anything wrong here, but it's like he did this, he pulled away. It's okay, maybe. I mean, I'm very thirsty to find more of the story. Could it just be one person's the bad guy? Yeah, sure, that could be. It's very, very often the case that there's a reason why he pulled away. And maybe there isn't. Or maybe he just wasn't that into her, right?
Realize that.
It was pretty immediate that I started noticing the efforts were different and the inconsistencies and the things that he was promising me and then not fulfilling. But I said maybe it's just the show. It's been a lot coming off of the show, so I gave grace with that. And I think over time, just realized that his heart just wasn't in it anymore.
Yeah. Okay.
Now, in Jen's defense, because people say, "Oh, you don't like Jen." In Jen's defense, Reality Steve had Dotun on, and you might say, "What does Dotun have to do with anything?" Well, Reality Steve had Dotun, interviewed him, and apparently Dotun met with Jen right after the season. Saw her at some sort of celebrity event. He was there with Charity, and he said that Jen said, the person she chose, it's like they're in a weird situation now. Okay, let's play before I play the trailer, I'll get to this in a second. Hold on, just hang in there, folks. Before I play that, I just wanted to say this about Devin. Now, I like to analyze the show in every corner. Why did this person do that? Why did that? And when I do that, a lot of times people will take my analyzing as me making excuses. And I think there's a big difference between explaining versus excuses. I have no excuses for Devin. I mean, that sucks. That sucks to make all these promises and not live up to them. What I do like to look at is why someone might be that way. One of the reasons why I believe the show is such a failure, statistically, there's like a 4% success rate, is because it's hard to differentiate between love and lust. Lust is a feeling you might have by being in a situation that is prime to quote unquote fall in love. That being on the show, being, in a cult-like scenario where, your systems are fried, right? You're there, not getting much sleep, drinking alcohol. All these other things kind of leave you almost disoriented, right? And then everyone's there with all of their focus on Jen. I think it's easier to find love in paradise because there's more competition. You have more of a selection. So Devin may have gone into the season not wanting Jen at all. He might have wanted Daisy for all we know, but then Jen became the prize. And a sinister-minded person might say, oh, Devin was playing the game, the Game of Roses idea. He's playing the game just to win and he doesn't care about her at all. Sure. That might be the case. The other case might be somebody not understanding the difference between the reward system of their brain, the dopamine rush of being the one picked, the societal hierarchy of kind of having a place and knowing, oh, I'm not getting rejected. Oh, I must love her. This feels great. She's into me. Oh my gosh. And again, it's like, bottom line, Jen's gorgeous, right? She's got a great personality, but it takes more than beauty and personality to have a lasting attraction, right? There's all these intangibles. And we have that term called the ick. What is the ick? Oh, so-and-so gave me the ick. The term, and I'm not saying she gave this to him, but I'm saying when you leave the environment that is Hawaii, that is jet setting, that is these curated dates that they get together. When you go back to real life where you have to go find a job, have to, do your social media, have a gym schedule you like. And when you go back to what used to be your framework, not everyone just adapts. It's almost like, gosh, I sound so, to be quite honest, I think I'm thinking about this on a way smarter level than a lot of people. I think a lot of people are thinking emotionally about this. Oh, he's the worst. Okay, maybe. But it's like when you ever bought a fish? You ever bought a fish and they put it in that little pouch, and then when you want to put that fish into your tank, if the water's different, you put the fish in the pouch into the tank and it slowly acclimates the fish to the water of the tank. Do you understand what I'm getting at? The acclimation process from being on The Bachelor to being in some hidden relationship where you can't share it to acclimating to the real world is one that many fishes, these Bachelor contestants and leads, don't survive. They don't survive it. Could it be that Devin realized the dopamine rush he got from quote unquote winning the show wasn't love, and the sort of day-to-day life with Jen, or the sort of, the non-competitive life, was one that he wasn't ready for. Now, you could call that an F-boy. Nick Viall loves to use the term so-and-so's an F-boy. But are they diving deep? And we have a lot of psychologists that cover the show. Are they diving deep to find out what is the F-boy or F-girl? What is that thing where like they're playing a game? Are they doing it consciously, or are they trying to fill a hole that they've got from childhood? You know what I mean? So some people might say, I don't care why he's doing that way. He's an a-hole, this and that. Okay, sure, feel that way. But when it comes to people like me, I've been lucky enough to have this channel where I can just spend 20 minutes thinking about it, going, I wonder. Let's assume Devin's, like, we've already assumed Sam's not the worst guy, right? Everyone hated Sam, and then Sam, afterwards says a few things, and everyone goes, Sam's not too bad. Everyone hated this, that person's not too bad. Everyone hated Greg Grippo, he wasn't too bad. And then you go to realize, okay, all right, so the people aren't bad. Maybe the environment that creates these relationships, these lab-grown relationships, is actually the flaw in the system. So the experiment itself is bad. That's what I think. All right, so anyhow, let's go to the TikTok. Here it is. Do we milk that baby for all it's worth? So let's go to the beginning of the... Oh, boy. Hold on. We lost it. Let's go back. Here it is. It's breaking the internet.
Everybody.
So I'm going to turn the music down here. It's only 10 seconds long. There she is. And then he is revealed right there. Boom! Shakalaka! Yo! What's up? So, are they together? My guess is 5% chance. But could it be a Tyler Cameron, Hannah Brown moment? Sure. But Jen posts this. Guess we'll never know. No, Jen, we will. You just posted this on TikTok. We do know. Someone said they're probably messing with us, but I don't care. I want this to happen so badly. I mean, look. They started as friends. Here's what I'll say about Jonathan. I think the infrastructure between Jonathan and Jen has better training wheels for a relationship than these other guys. Sam and her were like way too hot and heavy. Maybe Devin was insecure about her love for Marcus. Who the hell knows? Meanwhile, Jonathan, what was he doing? Shooting his shot. That's what he was doing. Even on the Men Tell All. He knew she wasn't in a relationship anymore. If she was in a relationship, he would have backed off. But he was like, Jen's not. I'm shooting my shot. That's a hot dress. That's what he said. He let the whole world know. And hey, good on him. The one accusation about him during the season was that he took a little too long to really shoot his shot. Better late than never. It's the fourth quarter, bro. So this is what he posted the other day. I've never wanted to say something more. I'm so incredibly honored to have been a part of Jen's journey. She's been an inspiration to women everywhere, and I'm so proud of the way she carried herself throughout this process. She experienced a situation on a national scale that I would never want to see someone go through. But this woman walked on stage with her head held high and handled herself with so much class and beauty that my jaw is on the floor. Jen, from me, my family, and anyone that has had the absolute privilege of meeting you, you're an incredible woman, and we are so proud of your journey. I'll be cheering you on as you shake it down on Dancing with the Stars and all the success after. Don't forget who your first patient was. I know we talked about it a little bit already, but I'm stoked to have you here in LA for a little. I know we'll have some time to make some really awesome memories. Whoa! For me, and I hope everyone reading this hears me, go show this woman some love and give her your support. She just put her heart on the line for all of you to see and absolutely killed it. I am so sorry that someone had the opportunity to take even a little of the positivity of the experience away from you. You deserve the world, Jen Tran. She responded, Jonathan, don't make me cry like that. Thank you for being such a light and an absolute gentleman. Lucky to have you. That got 9,000 comments. Now, hey, look. Is he in the friend zone or not? Who knows? Maybe. You come off the show, you get all these opportunities, new shiny ball. Who's this? She's going to get all this love on Dancing with the Stars. But I'm telling you, the chances of Jonathan and Jen being together is greater than 0%. It's greater than 0. My guess is 5. But I will let you know if I change my number on that. Now, very quickly before I let you go, what a day for my channel. I had the honor, and I say it with all due respect, I had the honor of discussing a very heavy topic with a lady named Allie Phillips. I had her on the Rush Hour podcast today, Saturday, my weekend chat. She lives in Clarksville, Tennessee, which is 90 minutes north of me. I drove there and back to interview her for 40 minutes about a painful situation she went through. Very quickly, Allie Phillips was pregnant with her daughter, Miley. And at her 19-week appointment for the anatomy scan, she found out that Miley wasn't going to be a viable birth. She had plenty of defects and wasn't going to survive. And so, trigger warning, this is about pregnancy loss. But sadly, in Tennessee, after the overturning of Roe v. Wade, she wasn't able to get an abortion. It's an absolute travesty. It is ridiculous. She couldn't get an abortion in any, and again, this is with a non-viable a fetus. She couldn't medically necessary abortion. She couldn't get one in any surrounding states because of the influx of people that needed medical care after Roe v. Wade was overturned. She finally raised enough money to go to New York City, where she had to, brave this tragedy all by herself. And she met with her representatives back in Tennessee saying, we have to change these laws. And the representatives essentially ghosted her and stopped communicating with her and wouldn't listen to her. What did Allie Phillips decide to do when the system wouldn't help her? She decided she'd be a part of the change the system needed. And now she's running for office. I'm telling you right now, it's a very inspirational, very emotional conversation, one that I think we need to have. A lot of the naysayers and pro-life people will say, well, it's a states' rights issue. Every state needs to decide. Well, this state and so many other states are fighting to get human rights and healthcare rights back on the ballot. It's a winning cause for those in the pro-choice movement. And it's a conversation worth having because so many people don't understand the real world effects that come from such toxic legislation. So anyhow, folks, if you want to go check that out, regardless of where you're on the spectrum, if you are a fan of me and what I do, trust me when I say these are the conversations I want us to move to. They're deep, they're powerful, and they need to be had. And in today's world in 2024, now is the time to start really making the changes we need to make to protect the women in our lives. All right, folks. I apologize for ending on such a heavy note, but that conversation is available now on the podcast app, and it's also available on the YouTube channel. You can go check it out right now. Have a fantastic weekend, everybody. Go enjoy some football. Go be kind to some others. Don't fight online. If there's any other breaking news stories, I'll be here to cover them. I'm Dave Neal. This is not The Rush. I was going to say this is The Rush. This is Bachelor Nation News. We'll talk to you later.